enough. I don't know where that came from.
Hello.
Hello. This is Joe with that hashtag show. Oh. I am joined this week by, always. I wasn't here last week, actually. So,
No.
Migdalia.
So we are joined this week by Joe. That hashtag Joe. Welcome back.
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you. How are you guys? How was your weekend so far? Actually, I spent a lot of it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was here all weekend.
We both did, actually.
Father's Day.
It is Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Daniel, and to any of our listeners there
that may have fathers or may be fathers.
May be fathers.
Speaking
Shout
of
out
fathers,
to Jay-Z.
or
He's the
single
father
moms.
Or single moms, yeah,
Again.
great call.
Jay-Z the father again. You guys know that?
Well,
Oh yeah, breaking news.
Twins. It is. All praise is due to Beyonce. What?
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you continue.
Yeah, you're on a roll or
All
something.
praise is due to Beyonce. That was all. So, Twin Peaks, guys. Twin Peaks.
We're gonna be talking about all the happenings that are going on in the city of Twin Peaks. We're gonna be talking about Dougie and his ventures, Migdalia and her stunner shades, hater shades. I really want to call them. You should
wear them.
give those to that's Daniel and Michael Couture.
Well, when he goes in another rant, he'll get the
Michael Couture is on next week's episode of Twin Peaks.
Oh, well,
Oh
then
my
I'm
God.
definitely better
If
make
you
sure I got
guys
some
weren't
shades.
tuning in to last night's hashtag show after dark, you missed like a 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Well,
It's
like all together,
35
yeah.
minutes.
They called me the queen of shade. I'm just saying.
And not only that, after we wrapped the show, he still
He
went on his
continued.
tangent about Michael
They
Couture.
share an X or something happened.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, we're Eskimo brothers.
It's something
He
did
knows what's
happen.
going on.
So a couple things before we start. We have the super chat feature. Hit the super chat feature. That supports our show, and it goes right back to you, the fans. And also, it helps with the comments. I don't know what's going on with my feed personally.
If we're lagging a little.
If we're lagging a little bit, I don't know if we're lagging. Let us know in the chat or in the discussion. Chat is what it's called. But the super chat feature. So in case you want to highlight your comment for us to read, we will read it live here on Welcome to the Red Room. Inside the Red Room, sorry. And the other thing I want to talk about is our store. Check out our TeePublic store. I'm going to leave it in the chat right now. Check out that store. You can get our official hashtag show Deadpool shirt. There's also Twin Peaks shirt in there.
Where? Because I said I was going to do a Twin Peaks t-shirt.
Well, there's Twin Peaks shirts in here. Visit Twin Peaks.
No, that's not as funny as mine.
There's Twin Peaks.
Guys, I got a good one for you.
Hurry up and make it.
So we got that. Also, there's the Flash shirts in there. Doctor Who, Marvel, DC, anime, Disney, anything you can think of that we cover here on that hashtag show. It is in our store. So check it out at TeePublic, tpublic.com, that hashtag show. The link is already in the chat, so check that out. But let's get into the Red Room. Let's go inside the Black Lodge, if we will. Show starts off with Jerry Horne in a forest. High AF. He was pretty stoned.
I called it.
You did call it.
Right there. I
lost my car. Where's my car?
Here's the thing about the forest, though. The forest is filled with mystery, and it always has been. It's a big trope on Twin Peaks. That stuff happens in the forest, and nobody necessarily comes out the same. Possibly this happened to Jerry Horne. Or maybe he was high as shit.
That's what he said.
That could be a possibility as well.
He was.
Is this related to Dougie losing his car?
Well, you know, one thing I'm
like
noticing is that everything is somewhat related. We have a few new guys in here. Tony Q Music, Matalis. But hey, thank you guys so much. Mateus. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
I love it.
Anyway, so what did you think about this whole forest scene with Mr. Jerry Horne?
I didn't think it was telling until you just pointed it out.
With the car thing. It just came up in my
God.
head right now.
Wow, that's amazing. Like you're just.
My God, thank you.
Wow, you were on it.
Daniel's just filled with compliments for me tonight.
I am.
On air.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we get to the sheriff's department. We see the reading of the journal. Now this is a throwback to the Fire Walk with Me movie.
That you're drinking?
What are you doing?
No, I thought it was drinking.
This is. What are you doing right now?
She gets it. Never mind.
Why don't you explain the next scene? No, go ahead. You're doing a great job.
I don't know. Let me see the next. Let me see the next.
So we're in the sheriff's office, and then what?
Oh, well, the sheriff's
happened?
office. We get sheriff speaking to.
All right, so the sheriff is
deputy.
pretty much speaking
Wow.
to the deputy.
Oh, I thought I was doing it.
And he's talking about the journal entries he found. Now, these journal entries are very important because in Fire Walk With Me, you see Laura writing these journal entries. These are the missing journal entries that are based all in the Twin Peaks TV series when they find out that they're missing. This is a throwback to this scene particularly reminded me of the original series and the movie. And this was starting to tie everything else together. Excuse me. Go ahead.
No, we had 4 pages that were missing. They found 3. And they were going over them. Their speculation is that, of course, Laura's dad possibly had them and stowed them away while he was on one of his many interrogations there at the station. But I forgot who was the one that told Laura that to write that in her journal. I forgot. There
It
was
came
an
in
actual
a dream.
Person.
It was Annie. Annie was like, so there's like a scene in Fire Walk With Me where they're in a bed and she's telling her all this stuff, like good Coopers in the lodge, black Coopers out.
That's right.
This all happens in Fire Walk With Me. Mateus is on it. We get answers about Diane and the diary pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I was afraid we'd have to wait. I was afraid we'd have to wait a couple episodes too, actually. Especially last week, seeing as that was the first physical debut of Diane. I didn't think we would get so far into her story yet, or so far into that side of her story yet. We'll get to Diane in a second, though. We find out that Leland had those pages, but we knew Leland had those pages from Fire Walk With Me. And they kind of do a good job of explaining, and great job on the continuity, explaining that, like, well, we brought Leland in a couple times to question the death of Jean Renault, Jacques Renault, when he died. We brought him into the sheriff's department. So that made a lot of sense. We also get the question of where has Cooper been and who was the last... Oh, boy! Don't you dare be sour! Clap for the Red Room because we're back in... I don't know. Larry Newbill, shout out to you for the super chat. This is going to be another night of savages from you three. We are the most savage
we are.
people
Yeah,
on the
but
show.
I am so tired right now because
Because you were hanging out with Jerry Horne in the forest.
Yeah. And he's on his way to reggae night, and I'm not at the Hollywood Bowl.
Jerry Horne would be on his way to reggae night.
Lost his car with you and everything.
One thing we do get. Thank you so much, Larry. By the way, Larry, I'm gonna. Why don't you check this out? We have a lot of stuff, a lot of swag for you, Larry. Go check that store out. But the one thing I wanted to talk about was they talk about some of the people that Cooper may have seen leaving town.
Oh man.
He says that one of the people that he saw was Doc Hayward, which we knew was the man, wasn't the biological father, but the man that raised Donna.
That's right.
Donna's not in the show, nowhere to be seen, by the way.
Right.
We also know, and this isn't addressed here, but we do know that one of the last people that Cooper saw, we should really say Booper because it was bad Cooper. One of the last people that he saw was
Booper.
Major Briggs. Major Briggs. Major Briggs. After that, Major Briggs died apparently in a fire, I believe. Something.
That's pretty much what they're
That's the
alluding
story.
to.
We get to see Deputy Andy outside of some guy's house talking to him. Don't really know where that was leading. I felt like that was a seed that was planted for the future, but I wasn't necessarily sure what that meant.
Yeah, but we will see. We always know we will see.
Well, I mean, listen, now we know why Dr. Jacoby was making those gold shovels.
Exactly. So
everything
we'll
does
see.
eventually start paying off.
Right.
Truman begins to investigate bad Booper.
Man.
We're not calling him that.
We're calling him Booper.
No.
So we understand...
Because it's also Bob Cooper. It's Booper.
No.
Bad Cooper. Truman's investigating. He's calling around and he calls the doctor, and they start having conversation about Laura Palmer really, and some of the last days of her life. Lynch does something interesting here. So are you guys familiar with Inland Empire?
Yeah.
This film? You are? So Inland Empire, he used a lot of video recorders and camcorders because at the time they were they were the first HD kind of recorders.
Yeah.
So he wanted to experiment with those. And this is interesting because I think he's embraced technology a little bit and he used Skype. And you can tell that was an actual Skype conversation that was going on.
Yeah.
So Lynch in his stylistic filmmaking integrates new technology, and it just reminded me a lot of Inland Empire there. We get to find out a huge dangling plot thread from the end of Twin Peaks season 2.
Yes.
And that's what happens to Audrey Horne after she pretty much handcuffs herself to the bank and the bomb goes off. Audrey is left in a coma. We have yet to see her in the show. I'm running down the show so we can discuss it.
Yeah.
The detective, we see the detective meet the military here. This is where we go into the coroner's office and we see that body with no head that's been kind of the autopsy why. We see that this is a body of somebody that's in his late 40s. However, she comes out and calls Ernie Hudson's character and pretty much tells him that, like, well, he had, Briggs had to be in his 70s. So this is interesting.
And that is the body of the fingerprints are lifted from.
And this is the mystery here, is we don't know if, I said that I think this is Briggs.
Right.
And then they had addressed it, maybe this is Briggs, but the timeline doesn't fit in. So we're getting some more Lynchian kind of strange timeline-ish stuff. But the interesting part about this is when you see, the reason why Agent Briggs' head is missing, I think, is when you see him in that Space Odyssey.
There
and
you
he just
go.
says Blue Rose.
Blue Rose, and it's just the head.
And it's just the head. So
where's his head?
I don't know.
We don't know. But
Floating
Something in a blue rose.
see, but once I'm saying, these are all Lynchian breadcrumbs. All Lynchian breadcrumbs. It just, when we get to that moment, it's going to be huge.
Blue Rose. So what does Blue Rose mean? It becomes a little bit more prevalent now. So it's something else that we're going to have to figure out. We also get to see Albert and Gordon meet. This is after Albert talks to a very nice shirt, Joe and Daniel, Black Panther and Captain America.
Oh, yeah,
Migdalia is basic today.
I'm no basic girl.
But we this is after seeing Diane.
What? I agree with you, dear God.
Albert says that he pretty much got nowhere with Diane, and he asks Gordon, now you're going to have to go see her. And then Gordon says, will you come with me? And then he's like, say please. And he's like, what? I can't hear you. He's like, you heard me. And he's like, please. So they go off to get Diane, and Diane...
No, he says, please.
Please. Diane is salty. Ooh. Mateus says Blue Rose means paranormal investigation.
Ooh.
Paranormal. Mateus, I'd love to know how you got that.
Got that, yeah.
Because that's something I'm very curious about, is that definition of Blue Rose there. It was also really prevalent. So we were talking about meeting Diane. She is a super feisty chick.
Oh.
Smokes, drinks, and this is not what I had imagined Diane when Cooper was talking into his recorder. Like, Diane, you have to check out these ferns. These are the biggest ferns I've ever seen.
Yeah, right.
Like, that is not. I can't imagine if this is Diane. She's like, shut the fuck up, Cooper.
Seriously, it's like there has to have been a big change to Diane, which we'll probably get to as you're going through, because I have a theory I don't know yet.
Oh, great. So we get to Diane meets Booper because they tell her that, like, she's in South Dakota, North Dakota. One of the Dakotas. South Dakota. She meets him. She looks in his eyes and pretty much says, "Do you remember the last night we were together?" And he pretty much says, "How can I forget?" And she says, "Who are you?"
Immediately after that.
There's one thing we did miss was the prints.
The prince?
The fingerprints.
Oh, the prince, yeah. On the
So
body.
that was the reverse. They said that it was reversed.
Yeah.
Here's something interesting that kind of ran through my head though about that is with the prints and all the reverse and even the word "very" being reversed. Erev. That reminds me of the Red Room by kind of like the way they speak, and you can tell that it's almost backwards talk in a way.
Also with it, I mean, there's a lot of illustration that goes with it, or just you can see it, where the moment where Coop is looking in the mirror and he sees Bob, and it's like that whole reflection, everything is reversed in a reflection. And that's why in the Black Lodge, everything is kind of slightly reversed. So it's just, if now Bob is inside of Cooper, there's a switch, there has to be some kind of leveling within the body, and that would explain the reverse as far as the thumbs.
Migdalia, how did you feel about the meeting of Diane and Bad Cooper?
Bad Cooper, not Booper. It was quite interesting. Again, I haven't caught up with the show in the 25 years ago, so I'm not sure.
I mean, truth be told, Diane was a character that was referenced but never seen.
Okay.
So you're pretty much on par with everybody else in that scene.
Well, yeah, it was a pretty intense meeting then. It's pretty ambiguous.
As is David Lynch's word.
Yeah, I'm just like, what the hell's going on? You know, all distracted by the mullet still.
And he looks so like intimidating.
Yeah,
because
his eyes are like super dark. I don't know if they did that in post or lighting.
When you see actual Agent Cooper, he just seems so like likable.
Oh yeah.
But he
Even
just
Dougie.
seems... Dougie looks so likable.
They look like two different people.
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
It look like they age him when he's.
You know what? That's a great point, actually. And even credit to Kyle MacLachlan. Something I didn't even think about is that his acting.
His
He's
performance
he's
is great.
He's a great character actor. Even on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he did well.
I forgot he was on that show.
Yeah, he was.
I'd be surprised if he didn't get nominated
You think?
for something.
Him and Michael Couture probably, right?
Yeah.
So
He's going to win the Oscar.
Yeah.
who is who?
Michael Couture for that party movie.
What? Huh?
Anyway,
What's the next scene?
the next scene, we get to see
Before Daniel makes a scene?
Booper has a message for the Warden.
Strawberry.
They tell them I need to talk about strawberries.
Strawberries.
The Warden meets up. We get to see Andy in the woods, and he hears a bunch of noises. Now, this is interesting because something that we all know from the previous seasons of Twin Peaks, is that the owls are not what they seem. And you hear clearly, like, there's birds and all. It seems like the owl noises that we heard from the original series. Now, Mateus says, in Fire Walk With Me, Agent Cooper records one of his messages to Diane, not only as Agent Chester Desmond disappears, but this is one of Gordon Cole's Blue Rose cases. Oh, interesting.
Sure.
Just from just this, we can deduce that Blue Rose is a code for the type of case ran by the FBI or at least by Gordon Cole.
Okay.
That's a great point. Mateus?
Bravo.
This is like our Olivia Peterson.
Peterson and Legion.
Yeah.
Yes,
for Twin
Mateus.
Peaks.
Mateus, join us every week because you're going to be such a huge contributor.
Yeah.
That's a great call. Good job, Mateus.
Bravo.
We get to see Booper meeting the Warden. It says the dog has 4 legs.
Did he kill a dog?
Well, he said
I don't think so.
It originally had 4 legs. The
Well,
leg that you
it's a
found,
dog,
the
they
leg
all
that you found, yeah, and then he said,
I don't think he means an actual
No, I know.
dog.
It's
Oh, okay.
come
I'm
on.
fine then. I'm okay. If it's a
type in
person,
shadows
whatever.
imagery, and he says the one that you found. So it's, and I'm wondering when he says it, is it like, is there a case?
No.
Or something that he happens to know?
What I'm thinking is that the dog. This is my opinion.
Really?
The dog has 4 legs means that the different bodies that they found.
Okay.
So isn't one found? That's another great comment. We have Red Hector Music. Blue Rose equals X Files.
Yep.
Great comment.
Yep.
But I think that one of them is like they found a chunk of skin or something in like an ear or something, right? In the
Yeah, they
back of
did.
the car.
Yeah, they did.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
We're
remember
gonna have to figure all that out as we get there. But we know who is Joe McCluskey.
I was looking that up, and I'm like, okay,
Probably his old
I
partner
know
or
that
something.
he's a like a track runner or something like that. I was looking it up in Wikipedia, and it was like it just immediately it was the first result, and I was like, okay, but Joe McCluskey Twin Peaks, and it was just like, well, he was mentioned, and that was it.
He was mentioned
People have
in
written
like the
down.
old stuff or the new stuff?
No, just mentioned in this episode, and I'm like, no, he had to be mentioned before if they're just throwing a name out like that. But I couldn't find much.
No, well, not necessarily. It's probably like someone from his past, like his partner or something. Maybe he killed, or I don't know.
I like it.
After this, Booper has some demands. He tells him he wants a car, and he wants him and Raymond
He
to get out
wants
of town.
a cheap rental car at 1 a.m. to escape with some other dude,
And a friend in the glove compartment.
which is probably a gun.
A gun. Yes, we'd have to assume.
Unless it's Pike the Ike person.
Unless it's the guy. That guy's vicious, man.
Well,
in the glove compartment.
We'll get to
We'll
him.
get to
That's
him just
Migdalia's
later.
favorite character. So now we get to Dougie's office.
Nightmares.
Douglas Jones. He gets confronted about his files by Tom Sizemore.
Who you were
Who I was
viewing
like, that's not Tom
That's
Tom
not
Sizemore.
time size, boy.
The cops come into Dougie's office.
Oh, we
and they
can't
talk
dwell
to
on
him.
that because Joe was wrong.
We can talk about it. Sure. So why don't you run down this scene, Migdalia?
Wait, which one?
Yeah, exactly.
We get to the office, and immediately once we get to the office, first thing we see is Dougie's wife outside. She's waiting for Dougie.
So we see Dougie's wife outside waiting, and then she gets all impatient and storms inside. I'm like, oh, here we go again. And then we go inside.
Drama.
Yeah, and so somebody's trying to talk to Dougie, but he's like doing his little kid drawings or whatever.
Sizemore, he's pretty much like, yo, I heard pretty much you ratted me out. I know I've been caught and stuff like that, but without saying it, like but he's getting to it.
Right. So, and then he leaves, and Dougie's secretary comes in, and you're all like, "Oh, the wife's gonna catch those two together." I'm like, "Oh."
Well, she did like try to get him in the bathroom.
Yeah, she was doing like a swish walk out. Yeah. And I was like, "Okay, that's a little bit extra."
Well, no, because they hooked up. Because remember, she tried to get him in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, damn, Dougie. Like, Dougie's taking care of business, man.
So she tells him that the cops are there to visit him, and she lets him in the office, and then the wife storms right in.
To save him.
It's got Dougie's back, yeah. So basically, I guess they found his car is the assumption. And we don't know why they're there. They just ask him about his car, and then go through this like 5-minute scene about, was your car stolen? Why didn't you report it? What does it look like?
Ultimately,
we did not like this scene, I feel like.
No, it was fine. I'm just saying, it was like, we don't know why the cops were there.
Until they actually, at the very end almost, well, it was like, okay, so you found his car, right? Like,
yeah.
Just answer the freaking question.
And there was a fatality involved with a gang that pretty much steals cars.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So she was like, okay, well, there you go. That's the answer. Then there you go. His car was stolen, and now they blew up. Okay.
His wife is a boss.
I know.
Some other B words. Some other people would say other B words, but whatever. I don't know.
Why?
Misogynist over here.
I know.
No, I'm just saying. Some people would say so.
If it was a guy, you'd be all like,
if it was a guy, I'm like, dude, he's annoying. Like, I can
he's annoying, but he's not the B word?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it can be almost emasculating. I don't know if you call a guy B. I don't know.
They're there because the car is freaking blown away. Yes, this is the insinuation.
Blown away.
And actually, it did explode, and that little kid got out like in the nick of time, too.
No, he was still standing there 10 feet away. No blowback. No screech bars.
Oh, my ears.
Well, he had a better faith in that kid from last week. Just when that
2 weeks ago.
Last week.
Oh, yeah, it was last week.
Oh, my God.
Dude, that was savage. That's like the most savage thing I've ever seen on TV.
I told him, get out the way!
I didn't expect
Where is that guy?
I don't know.
I kind of missed him.
Well, hey, you know what? He's kind of freaked out still. He's got like coins popping out of his mouth.
That was the weirdest scene. It was like
David Blaine shit.
Yeah.
So weird. This makes me realize nobody seems to actually care that he is not in his right mind. Yes,
yeah.
Daniel made that same comment.
Well, because it's a comment that Migdalia makes every freaking episode she does. Like, it really does annoy me that no one is like, hey, your husband had a stroke, right? Like, no one says that to her. Like, they're just all calm about it.
I think we're saying that because that hooker said Dougie, I think you had a stroke. Get out of the car. Dougie, I think you had a stroke.
Like, she's the only person that was like, okay, I see a difference. Everyone else is, oh, he's just having one of his spells. What the fuck?
How many spells does he have in a day?
And how long do they last? Wasn't he supposed to go to the doctor?
Well, I think something is wrong with him because the way the wife acts, she deals with this on a regular basis. She's not surprised by it at all. So there is something up with Dougie.
But remember, we do know that Dougie was essentially...
and she could be trying to hide it.
No, Dougie himself was like created as a doppelganger kind of thing. And we don't know if it's...
he was manufactured.
Manufactured. He's manufactured. And so with that being the case, I don't know if it's like, so this way, every once in a while, Bob was able to go ahead and enter him or blah, blah. So all those spells that he has may have been all those iterations, all those moments where it could have been Bob just switching out bodies or someone else switching out bodies. We don't know. Just saying. But yeah, somebody should say something.
Dougie, they go outside. Dougie gets attacked by Little Ike.
My nightmare.
I don't know if his name's Little Ike, but we're gonna call him Little Ike.
It's Ike.
Yeah, well, it's Ike. It's Ike Spike.
Ike and Tina.
Yeah, something like that.
I love him.
Ike the Spike.
Dude.
But Dougie took him down like a champion, though.
Yeah, he's like
an FBI agent. That's what he took him down. He pushed his wife out the way to.
Larry Newville just bought our shirt.
What?
Oh,
Which
bravo,
one?
man. Bravo.
Larry, did you buy the Deadpool shirt? And by the way, Mateus, you gotta get one of these Twin Peaks shirts. They're amazing.
Oh man. We
need some of these Twin Peaks shirts.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we should.
No, you should get the one I'm gonna make because it's funny.
We want to make a Twin Peaks shirt too, hanging with Agent
We should
Cooper.
have the competition. No, I was gonna put that like hanging with Mr.
Hanging with
No, you just said
Hanging with
something
Agent
else.
Cooper.
Hanging with
Yeah,
Agent
that's like
Cooper.
hanging with, it's like a plant hanging.
Yeah.
That was our idea. Then we can all co-create.
We
it.
should create it, and then you guys vote which one's the best.
Dude, are you really gonna do that? Oh, you're lame. No.
I think we should.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, so
We like competition.
I love competition. Dougie takes him down like an FBI agent.
But we did see the arm show up.
Horne
He had a vision of the arm telling him to squeeze his hand off.
That was
Yeah.
weird.
Vision of the arm. Squeeze his hand off. Squeeze his
his
hand off.
off.
That was so
Well,
weird.
it was.
You do the good like.
Huh? No, I don't, apparently. Migs hates it.
He
Cut
bought the
him out.
Deadpool shirt. That's a good shirt to get.
Ooh, good one. Good one. That's a really good one.
Also, after that we go ahead.
Yep, no, go ahead. You're going to say it.
No, you were gonna say. I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna move on.
Oh, yeah. After that, when we get the moment where after they've caught him and everything, they have like a little CSI moment, and there's a piece of skin.
Yeah, attached to the gun.
Yeah, and I was like, first I was still wondering when he said squeeze his hand off. I'm like, does the arm not understand how the real world works? I'm sorry. It's
The
weird.
arm's still
Like,
trapped.
yeah, but it's like squeeze his hand off. What the fuck?
But are we?
What superpower does he have?
We are for sure. Do we know for sure that the arm is actually the doppelganger of? And he got 2 Power Ranger shirts. Wow.
Damn, bravo. That's it.
We're gonna get you something at Comic-Con.
Oh, I do have. There's a Power Ranger thing, but the Ninja Storm Legacy figures to send him. But I'm waiting on Jasmine. She said she has something to send him too, so I'm just waiting to get all that together. Anyway, is the hand the doppelganger of the little guy in the red room?
No, the arm is
That arm, I mean?
No, the arm is now the little guy in the room
Is the
now
arm.
the arm.
But that's not his doppelganger.
It's not his doppelganger. Remember, the doppelganger is
How
the
did he
evil
turn
one.
into an arm?
Or a plant thing.
Well, what he is, he's the arm of the one-armed man. That's
Yes,
what he is.
George Ray. I was just gonna bring up this point. So the piece of skin that's found on the gun is very similar
To the-
piece of
yes!
skin
Yes!
that's found in the trunk.
Ooh,
Yes!
That's Daniel really excited here.
Because I was
We have to
thinking
take
it.
it down.
But could this
Never.
also be what we're talking about with the dog has 4 leg reference?
I wonder.
I don't know if it could all start tying together.
Fine. I just don't want it to be a real dog.
It's a real dog.
I don't want it to be a real dog.
Woof.
I don't think.
Dang.
Would you have been more sad about seeing that kid get hit last week or a dog?
A dog.
No, look, dude.
Wow.
Well, I probably would be too.
Wow.
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 Let's be honest.
Twin Peaks. We're back at the Twin Peaks Hotel. The Great Lodge is what it's called. I believe it's called the Great Lodge.
Wow. So original.
By Ben Horne, ran by Ben Horne. We hear this ringing tone.
Yeah.
Ben and Ashley Judd's character's assistant go check it out, and Cooper's key comes in the mail. Then I stopped taking notes after that. 'cause
You know
they
what
didn't
it
matter.
was? It sounded like one of those meditation bowls. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
ever
yeah.
seen them where you're
Yeah.
like,
When I was in Nepal, I
What's
could
up?
never get it.
Never get it to actually do the
it.
resonate. Yeah, like to make it resonate. It's
yeah, that's what it sounded like to me.
So we get to see Ashley Judd's character. She goes home to her, I guess, her husband,
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
and they have a somewhat of a strange interaction.
Well, you didn't like point out the weird sexual tension that was going on.
Yeah, but because this
between
is
her
kind
and
of
Ben.
this is
I
referenced in
thought-
episode 1 too, where,
Yes, it
where
was.
Jerry comes in and he's like, "Oh, your secretary is hot." And he's like,
yeah.
"Well, she's married. I'm not gonna do that."
And
The Great
yeah.
Northern Hotel. Sorry.
She's married. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not interested.
Yeah, and he's obviously interested.
There you go. That's
But,
right.
But she goes home and they have this strange interaction of like, I don't.
Well,
see-
he
You're not
has
gonna,
like
like-
a suspicion. Like he's grilling her. Why are you coming home so late? She's trying to be like, are you hungry? Do you want dinner? It's like, well, what are you doing? What were you doing so late? And she asked him again, and she's like, don't come with me with your bullshit and use your sickness and
did.
all that.
Man.
And so
She's like, don't come for me because I didn't send for
that
you.
guy
And
looked
she went
familiar
on.
too.
he did look familiar.
Yeah.
Like
I
I don't know if
forgot
he
what he's
appeared
been
in a previous episode or he was in something else we just watched, like Legion or something. I don't know.
A few other things we watched.
Well, I mean, this Twin Peaks show has tons of like
Heck yeah.
actors in it that I would have never have guessed, like the champ from
Whammy!
Whammy from Anchorman. He's the-
Oh yeah. Well, I know him from The Office.
Oh, in the office,
yeah.
yes. What's his name?
Oh
in
my
the
God.
office?
Oh, someone with an S, right? Josh, what's his name from The
Oh
Office?
no, don't tell her. I think I do know it. It's
Oh, this is gonna be 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes.
Mark Moscato.
Parker, is P something?
I don't-
That's gonna kill me too, because I
I
do.
know. God,
Whatever.
Yeah, you guys can say it in
Her
the
hubby
chat.
was a jerk, even if he has cancer. Yes,
Yeah.
but we also get to see our final scene in the Bang Bang room. Bang Bang Bar.
Well, yeah, I guess it was the final scene.
The Roadhouse Bang Bang Bar.
And it was alluding to letting us know that they're still doing the prostitution ring. It's still happening.
You think does One Eye Jack still exist? Because that was a big part
I wonder,
of.
see?
One-Eye Jack.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if One Eye Jacks if we'll ever get back to One Eye Jackson in the Twin Peaks: The Return. God, I'm really it's killing me.
I
It's
know.
fucking
I'm
nameless.
like, I'm going to IMDb.
It's,
I'm not waiting.
Oh, NCISLA. Okay.
What is it? It's All right, anybody out there?
Oh, okay, I know.
Anybody
Let me know.
out there
Let me
that
know
knows-
when you want to know.
Michael Scott's buddy from The Office. It's also in this episode of Twin Peaks. Is the lead cop. Anybody
I was
out
close,
there?
though. I was close.
It's what is it?
Packer.
Packer.
Todd
Packer.
Packer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Todd Packer.
David Kochner. Yeah.
Kochner.
Oh, I
Kochner.
thought it was
Kochner.
Kochner.
Kochner. Keckner. David Keckner.
Keckner.
Anyway, back to
What
the
Josh
show.
said.
Back to the show. What moments here on this episode stood out for you?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know for sure that Ike the Spike or whatever. We know from last week that the whole sequence that we saw where the guy goes into the safe, pulls out that piece of paper and puts it down, and then later looks at it and there's a dot. That was essentially an order, a hit order. And the hit order was for the people that Ike the Spike saw the picture of, where he stabs the woman and he stabs Cooper. Then, of course, he already killed the woman, so now he's going to kill Cooper, and that's why he was there. I wonder, is he going to come back and still try to do it again?
Yeah.
Also, why is that executive dude even putting out the hit?
I'm not sure yet. We got some great comments in the chat, and I want to welcome, obviously, Mateus and George Ray to the Red Room with us every week. One George Ray says, the shot in the Roadhouse seemed to go on forever.
Man!
Yeah, that was the one that stood out to me. I thought they were going to roll credits after that.
We thought.
But
like,
imagine
okay,
how
roll.
why would you just?
It was a little peaceful. I don't know. I was like kind of feeling it after all that clusterfuckery that we sat through.
Oh man!
That was kind of like,
And then
Legion needed that.
Yeah.
They needed a
Yeah.
5-minute sweeping scene.
Mateus says only Lynch can get away with a guy sweeping the floor for 5 minutes on TV. Completely
That
true.
was probably the cheapest scene.
Yeah, right.
I mean, think about if he has Final Cut and he's just like, yeah, we're gonna put this sweeping scene. Like it did go on forever, and I thought that I was like, well, there gonna be a music cue.
Yeah.
that, like,
No, you
pops
said
up, or-
someone's
Well,
gonna
they were
die.
playing
Someone's
music.
gonna die. Yeah, Joe was like,
Dun.
someone's
Well,
gonna
I
die.
mean, it was
This is
just
too slow.
It was
Someone's gonna die.
Yes, I can't wait for the Cooper versus George Ray's favorite scene was Cooper versus Ike, the ultimate showdown.
Oh man!
It was like a UFC
It
takedown.
was.
They kept chopping him in the
Good,
Yeah.
good. The wife was like,
Yeah.
Tarantino doesn't do TV. We all know that. Anyway,
Yeah, true.
Migdalia, what was your favorite scene?
The sweeping.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
Really?
It was peaceful. It was like I was meditating.
I think my favorite scene.
Wow, really, guys?
I think my favorite scene was the possible reveal that could be Major Briggs.
Oh, man.
That's his body, and that would mean that would make so much sense though, because that means that Booper killed Briggs. Obviously, 'cause he was the last one
I'm
to see
calling
him,
him that.
and cut off his head.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know where his head is. So you'd have to assume that his head is on somebody else's body.
yes.
Dun dun dun.
So we know that the librarian was killed in South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Major Briggs was killed.
Yes.
We also know that what's his name? Matthew Lillard's wife was also killed by Cooper.
Oh yeah.
What happened to his
Yeah,
character?
he's in jail
Yeah.
somewhere. Oh, and something else we didn't mention was that homeless-looking guy that kept like walking by.
Oh, yeah.
In the coroner's office.
Long hair.
Yes, Tanya says it's totally Major Briggs. I believe it is also Major Briggs. But so that's 3 people we know for sure. Oh, he also kills. Well, this one he kind of did it, not out of maybe
girl
out of
in
his
the-
own. Yeah,
yeah.
the girl in the hotel room, Clint Eastwood's daughter.
Yeah.
So that's 4 people that we know that he killed.
true.
But
Poor dog leg.
but we also it also that's what I mean for the 4 dog legs. So,
Yeah.
but I feel like there could be more. Like I feel like along his path of terror in the last 20 years, there has to be more than just 4.
Yeah. right? I mean, come on. At this point, you know he's left just like bodies in his wake. There has to be, because Cooper is a demon. So, I mean, old Booper is a demon.
I also like that this was our most straight up episode.
Yeah.
Man.
We got a lot here. I think that everything, the pacing of this episode was really well done.
Yes.
It kept me in tune. There wasn't a slow scene. I mean, there were a few scenes to me that were out of place, besides one. Besides that sleeping scene. There were a couple scenes that were out of place for me, maybe because it's not common that you see a one and done scene, kind of like there'd be a conversation that has nothing to do with anything else going on. But with David Lynch, obviously, he likes to pay things off way later on down the line.
Yeah, we only got one of those, which we know will pay off, but is the guy at the outside of his cabin. He's like, all right, it's 4:30, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, he'll be here soon.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know next week we're gonna find out who is he will be here soon.
Love the pronoun game.
Yeah.
Yes, George Ray, we did mention this, that his head was in an infinite space. Not sure if that has any connection, but you never know. We did say that earlier, that we found that interesting too, and that's where he says Blue Rose. Yes. No doubt that Mr. C killed Annie off screen. Mr. C, yes, Mr. Cooper probably did kill Annie off screen.
It's Booper.
Booper, we call him Evil Coop, Booper, whatever you want to go with.
Yeah.
Tanya L says, I'm thinking Evil Cooper may impregnated Audrey in the hospital, and that she is Richard's mom.
That's interesting.
Wow.
That's interesting. Also, can we
You know what?
kind of-
Because they do mention.
that he was in the intensive care, and I thought maybe he went to go see her. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Oh, snaps.
Wow, that's a good one. I love that theory.
Well, I
Render
still
him
want to know
speechless.
what was the deal with is it Diane? Diane and
Jack and
Cooper.
Diane.
I want to know what's going on with
Red
Diane.
Hector's favorite part was, what's your name again? Tammy. Fuck you, Tammy.
I don't remember that part.
Oh my god.
That was great. Okay, thanks, George. Yeah, I think that was brilliant. I believe it, Tanya. Yeah, good job, Tanya. I think that's a great theory of the week.
But what happened at Diane's house? That like
They probably made
But she-
sweet love.
that's what I think. I think that was it. I think her and Coop actually did hook up.
But you think it can't?
But if it
couldn't
was
have been
Coop,
this
it would have
Cooper.
been. Yeah, it wouldn't. It wasn't that Cooper.
Yeah, that's what I'm
but
saying.
Wait, but I'm like, when did that
Then
happen?
I don't think they
then?
ever hooked up. That's
See,
the thing.
So, but what did happen?
I don't know, but it wasn't that. She said that night
Something
was-
happened that he says, "Oh, I won't forget," and then that would kind of set her off already. But it was something enough for her to make sure that it was monumental because she even brought it up. What happened the last time
Maybe
you saw
nothing
him?
happened, so she was like chopping them.
I like it.
I don't know what happened either. I mean, I'm sure we'll figure that out along the way.
Because we'll have a talk, is what she says.
What
So
is
I'm
it
like,
that you
damn.
want to see addressed in next week's episode? Because you didn't think Dougie was going to be in this at all.
No.
No, yeah.
I want to see the crazy child killer. I want to see Matthew Lillard. I want for Dougie to teach me how to Dougie. And
That's pretty much talking and like not.
I want to know what the hell's up with Dougie because
Gosh.
yes, I was wondering what the episode count was, and you thought it was 17. I thought it was 12, and someone said 11 here.
Killing it with Mr. Cooper?
Killing it with Mr. Cooper. So that means we have 3 more episodes.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that is a good
9,
one.
10,
Larry.
4 more episodes. So we're about to start closing some loose ends here. Maybe.
Yeah, it's
Hopefully.
David Lynch, so I don't know. And we don't know if
Because we
this
have
show's
open-ended storylines from 25 years ago, right?
a ton. Like, we still haven't seen Audrey, and I know that she's in this season. We don't even really get to talk that much about Shelley's daughter, who
Oh, no.
she thinks is going out with the wrong guy.
Well, she clearly is.
We don't know much. We haven't seen much of Bobby Briggs being a sheriff now as well. Like, there's not much of that. So we're not
Bobby
actually getting to
Briggs.
see. I felt like this is the most time in an episode we've actually spent in Twin Peaks, in
Wait,
the city
what?
of Twin Peaks. 18 altogether. 11 more left. I knew it was 18.
What?
Yeah.
That's long.
Yeah, that's a lot
This is
of
going to
time.
run past Comic-Con. That's
Yes.
3-4 more months.
We're good.
Shoot.
4 more
That means
months
we're
of
gonna have to
this.
shoot some.
That means there has to be a
Comic-Con.
Twin Peaks. That has to be a Twin Peaks panel at Comic Con. That means maybe we get Twin Peaks interviews.
Well,
If I could interview David Lynch.
Well, because now he does give interviews apparently, which is weird. Because at one
He's just
time.
going to speak backwards the whole time.
He's gonna be like, what?
No.
He's gonna be
Oh,
Gordon.
he would be. That would be interesting.
No, you could
if he
fucking
go for
hear
it,
me.
if he went for it.
This is gonna take us into October.
Yeah, that's great. I want to see more Bobby Briggs as well.
Yep.
And that kind of, because we left him in a weird place where he was crying over Laura. I mean, I love this show. So
Do you
far.
guys think a show like this should have 18 episodes?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first season only had, I think, 8.
Yeah.
Second season had 25,
Yeah.
I believe, or 26. This one
So
has
there's no balance.
18. Yeah, it's off
I was
balance.
down. I was down for 12.
Twin Peaks
but-
is a really good show to watch. I enjoy the show. Love it. We're glad you're enjoying the show.
Yeah.
What do you want to see next week?
I want to know what's going on with the dog metaphor from Booper, but I know we won't find that out next week. But I would love to.
I want to see the face-off, the eventual. I want to see our real Agent Cooper back. Then I want to see the real face-off between Agent Cooper and Mr. Cooper. I think that we need that.
Face off stance.
Yeah.
Then it was one of your favorite movies too, Face Off.
Want to take his face off.
Can you imagine Twin Peaks Trivia by John Woo? That'd be Daniel's favorite thing.
Or if Cooper was
Roses.
Nicolas Cage. You know he
If
likes to wear
Cooper-
wigs. So
I wouldn't be
he'd
surprised if
Booper.
Nicolas Cage actually ended up showing up in Twin Peaks.
I wouldn't either because everyone is in this so far.
That would be great. That would make my day.
Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Fan theory of the week goes to
Drum
Tanya
Yeah.
for thinking that evil Cooper may have impregnated Audrey in the hospital and that she is Richard's mom. Good fan theory. Leave your fan theories in the comments below. We'll read them off next week. We'll choose one and we'll make that our fan theory of the week. A new thing that we're doing with that hashtag show.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna leave it one more time. Here's a link to our store. That is from TeePublic. If you get the Deadpool shirt, that is our official hashtag show shirt. All the other shirts in there are great. We got Power Rangers, we got Twin Peaks, Marvel, DC, anime, Disney, whatever it may be, it's in there. Go check it out.
Yes.
And finally, I want to say you can join us. The next time you can see a hashtag show thing is going to be on Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
Monday.
Banana.
Morphin Monday will be out. And then if you're a Power Ranger fan, we have something exclusive for you. Also, we have a huge story, huge like Donald Trump, huge story coming out.
Big.
Big story coming out Monday. Me and Migdalia did. It is, I'm not going to say what it's about, but stay tuned. That'll be up around 12 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I hope it goes viral. But that's going to do it for us here at That Hashtag Show. Daniel, where can everyone find you?
On social media as the real J_Rome, except for Facebook, because they don't believe in underscores. So just take that out.
Migdalia.
Instagram, Facebook, Miggy Spicy. Twitter, Miggy Spicy. No, Instagram, Miggy Cosplay. Boom.
And I am at That Hashtag Joe. You can catch us each and every week here at That Hashtag Show. Thanks for watching. And for all you new guys in the room, like George and Mateus and Tanya, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you next week. But that's going to do it for us. So hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending
In geek pop culture.
Oh!